Life had always been tough for Adanne. When her husband passed away, she had little Amarachi to care for and a lot of worries. She wanted to provide for her daughter, so she tried different things to make money. She sold food at the market, walked the streets selling plantains, and even sold fruit outside of school. But business was not her thing. She kept finding herself in debt, struggling to even put food on the table for herself and Amarachi. Feeling lost and alone, Adanne thought maybe getting married again would help. She wanted stability, someone to share life's burdens. That's when she met Uzo. Uzo was a talented carpenter, known for his beautiful furniture. He worked hard, people respected him, and he seemed like the answer to Adanne's problems. They got married quickly, just after a month. For the first time in a long time, Adanne felt a little hope. The beginning of their marriage was happy. Uzo took care of them, and Adanne had 2 sons, Ebube and Emeka. Amarachi loved having little brothers, and their home was filled with joy. But as time passed, things started to change. Amarachi grew into a beautiful young woman, but her happy spirit started to fade as Uzo began looking at her in ways that weren't right. His actions started subtly, a touch here, a word there, but soon it became worse. At night, Uzo would sneak into her room, whispering bad things to her. Amarachi fought back as much as she could, but nobody heard her cries for help. When she tried to tell her mother, Adanne was either busy or focused on her sons. She would say, "Amara, you're a big girl now, stop bothering me," not knowing the terrible things happening in their own home. One day, Adanne went to a nearby village to buy things for her sister's wedding. Uzo was home alone with Amarachi and used this chance to hurt her. Amarachi's screams filled the empty house, but nobody came to help her. That night, a nightmare began that would stay with her forever. Uzo continued to hurt Amarachi, and she became more and more withdrawn. When her mother came back, she noticed the change, but thought it was just typical teenage behavior. It wasn't until 2 weeks later, when Amarachi got sick and couldn't stop throwing up, that Adanne realized something was seriously wrong. At the hospital, Adanne's worst fear was confirmed. Amarachi was pregnant. Adanne was furious. On their way home, she yelled at Amarachi, accusing her of doing something wrong, even hitting her as they walked. Amarachi stayed quiet, her tears the only way she could express her pain. When they got home, Amarachi ran to the kitchen and grabbed a knife. Her hands shook as she held the blade and cried uncontrollably. Her mother, scared and shocked, begged her to stop. "Please, Amara, don't do this. Tell me who did this to you." Through her sobs, Amarachi revealed the truth that shattered their world. "It was Uzo, Mama, my stepfather. He has been doing this to me for months. I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen." Adanne collapsed, her legs giving way as her daughter's words hit her with the force of a collapsing building. How could she have been so blind? How could she have let this evil into their home? Shame, guilt, and anger washed over her. She screamed, her voice filled with pain, and fell to the floor. In that moment, their once happy home was destroyed. Adanne had looked for safety in marriage, but it had only brought her more pain. And Amarachi, her innocence was taken, her life forever scarred by the one person who should have kept her safe.